Welcome to the Insomnia Project. Sit back, relax, and listen as we have a conversation about the mundane. One thing that we can promise you is that our conversation will be less than fascinating, so that you can just feel free to, just drift off. Thank you for joining us. We hope you will listen and sleep. I'm your host, Marco Timpano.
And I'm your co-host, Nidhi Khanna.
And Nidhi, we always mention that our listeners should feel free to rate us on iTunes.
We hope that they do.
It'd be nice.
Hopefully they're falling asleep.
Well, if they're not, I do want to mention this, Nidhi, because someone said this to me. We want to put a little warning. This is our first warning of our podcast. Do not operate heavy machinery and do not listen to our podcast when you're driving.
You know what? Yes, you're right, Marco. Maybe we should actually have that on our marketing copy or our website copy because, the last few episodes where we've had some special guests on, I've actually fallen asleep to them. So
Nidhi actually told me that it took her 3 listens to get through a particular episode. I won't say which one.
No, yes.
But you kept falling asleep.
Yeah, so success. We
are recording tonight's episode from Nidhi's new home.
Yes, my beautiful new place, which I am very excited about. It's got a bit of a recording style to it, I guess. The neutral walls and...
This desk is perfect for it. So we're
is.
recording once again from Toronto at Nidhi's new home. And I want to mention that Nidhi made me a chai tea. And if you listen to past episodes, Nidhi has always promised to make me a chai tea from scratch. And because we're in her home, she took out a mortar and pestle, or do you say pestle?
I believe it's pestle.
It's actually supposedly pronounced pestle, even though it's spelt pestle. I got into a huge debate about this with Melissa D'Agostino, who we'll have on the show. I believe it was her, with regards to the proper pronunciation of mortar, and I say pestle, she says pestle. You, our listeners, can be the judge. Tweet us at Listen and Sleep on how you pronounce mortar and its accompanying word, I guess. I won't say it again. You figure out how you say it. But Nidhi took this out, and you started to crush, or pestle, I guess, cloves and cardamom, and you grated some
ginger, fennel, cinnamon,
and you boiled it all up in a burner that you said was too hot.
You know what, Marco? I'll be honest. Now,
I think it's fantastic.
It's not my best cup of chai.
It is certainly the best I've ever had.
Well, thank you. Chai is one of those things, or the way that you make it. You really need to let the spices simmer and infuse and move up to a boiling point. But this being a new burner, kind of boiled a little too soon. I still need to work at it. I think the next time we record here, I will make you another cup of chai.
Amazing.
And you can compare it to this one.
It's funny. I was thinking about when I was in India, and all I wanted to do was get a chai latte, and no one would let me. The closest thing I got was a cardamom tea.
Well, a chai latte doesn't exist in India, so that's one thing.
Okay, maybe that's why people looked at me like it was strange.
But also, you wanted a chai from like the chai wala on the street.
Yes, nobody would let me have it.
No, because you would have been violently ill.
I disagree with that. I think my constitution...
I wouldn't even have a chai from the chai wala on the street. Well, actually, maybe you would have been okay because you're boiling the water to such a high degree.
That's what I say. And I feel like everyone's like, oh, when you go away, don't drink the water, don't eat the fruit, don't eat the ice cubes.
No, so in India, though, Marco, I could kind of attest to the fact that you don't want to drink the water or have raw fruit. Actually, I don't know about fruit, but they used to say not to have salad in like restaurants or like raw food because you don't know how
they've been washed.
And
if there's water on them.
And I once got very ill.
Well, I'm still sad that I didn't get my tea off the streets like I wanted. Perhaps one day when you and I are in India, you will you will help me make that dream a realization.
I will.
Okay.
I will do that for you.
But I'm going for my motorcycle license this weekend.
Now, it's funny when you say that, Marco, because when I first met you,
Mm-hmm.
my impression was not, this guy must drive a motorcycle.
Right.
And I think that when, like, people think about people who have motorcycles, there's an image that you might have in your head. And so I guess the question becomes, what was it about a motorcycle that you gravitated towards? And I know that part of the answer is that you don't really have a traditional motorcycle.
I've never wanted to drive a motorcycle. I'll be honest, a little bit they scare me. I own a scooter, and I've always loved scooters, and I've always wanted to own a scooter. But in this province of Ontario, you need to have a motorcycle license if you have a scooter that goes over 150 cc's.
So not those electric bikes that you sometimes
No, if you have an
see.
electric bike, which my wife has, you can drive it without, as if you had a regular bike.
Perfect.
But when you have a motorized scooter, you have to get a motorcycle license, which is a little bit weird because I think they should have a scooter license for people who want to just drive a scooter in the city. That's not the case. So we have this graduated motorcycle license, which requires you to do a written test, and then I believe within 90 days, you then do a bit of a road test where you get your M2. So the M1 would be the written license, the M2 is the driver's license, which you have up to 3 years to get your regular M, so the graduated license, so that you have the full license. So the first time I got it, I had the M1 and the M2, and I let the time lapse, which means I couldn't get my M license because I didn't graduate it in the amount of time that the government allots you to. So this time around,
So did you have to go back to zero?
I had to do the written test, and then
gosh.
do once again the little driving test, which is like, they put a couple of pylons and you have to sort of circle your way through them, and there's a part of the test where you go from point A to point B within a certain amount of seconds. You have to do it relatively quickly. It's a little bit silly, and it's pretty easy to get. So there you go. The next test requires me to go on the highway with my scooter and go in excess of 100 kilometers an hour. I know.
Does your scooter even go that
It
fast?
does, but I'm a little bit not wanting to go that fast on a scooter. I don't think it's wise, but that's going to be part of my new test. And I'm a little bit like, really, I have a scooter and I have to get the same test that a proper motorcycle
Like a
gets.
Harley Davidson.
Even just a Yamaha or BMW
Yamaha,
or
okay.
you name the motorcycle.
So describe your scooter. So I've seen your scooter. It's kind of like a red Vespa.
Yeah, it's kind of like an old school Vespa. It's actually called Stella, so it's
Okay.
made by Stella, and I've had quite a few problems with it. This Stella that I got for some reason had issues, and I blamed the company.
It's a lemon. Stella is a lemon.
It's a little bit of I would caution people, if they're gonna get a scooter, do your due diligence.
Okay. Did you take the Stella out for like a test drive when you bought it, or how does it work with the scooter?
No,
You
the
just-
place I bought it, and I'm not gonna name them.
Of course.
You bought it, and then I had to wait, I think, about 5 months for it to come in, which was ridiculous.
It was coming from Italy?
It was coming from India.
Oh,
So
well, I can kind of see where this is going.
Well, it's interesting. So Stella bought out a factory in India that was making Vespas, old school looking Vespas, and we liked the look of the old school looking Vespas, and that's what we wanted. But to purchase one of those like 1960s Vespa was going to cost a great deal of money because you're buying this vintage scooter, etc., etc.
Sure.
So rather, we decided to purchase a bike that was essentially a Vespa stamped in India, or made. When I say stamped, I mean like the production was made in India, where all they did was change the name from Vespa to Stella, but you were getting this old type of Vespa that was still manufactured in India, which was no longer manufactured in Italy because the Vespas they were manufacturing in Italy have a new sort of modern look to it. Follow?
Gotcha.
So we bought this Stella and we loved it. And there was a mosquito in the... Oh, I wish I could remember exactly where it was. In some sort of flap that distributed air to the vehicle, that there was a bug. It wasn't necessarily a mosquito.
Like a dead bug?
A dead bug that was trapped in some little hose that distributed air, and we were having all kinds of problems because of that. And that supposedly came from where it was manufactured. And then I just had to replace the speed.
I feel like that's how, like, in sci-fi movies, viruses are spread around the world. It's like Contagion right there or something.
I'm telling you. So that was one of the issues we had. Now, don't get me wrong. I love riding this scooter. I love the look of the scooter.
It's a beautiful scooter.
I just don't like the problems that came with it.
Of course.
So, and it was not a cheap scooter to purchase, let's say. So, anyways, I've got a little bitter taste in my mouth, shall we say. And now I've got to do this test on... Tomorrow I'm taking the in-class test. I don't know what that's going to... Or the in-class lesson, let's say. I don't think there's a test with that.
So this is the in-class lesson for you to be able to take the scooter on the highway for the actual practical lesson?
No.
Okay.
So I could take the test through the government, like, you know... I don't know even what the U.S. would call the DMV, the Department of...
It is the DMV in the States.
In the States, but what do we call it in here in Canada?
In Quebec, it's the SAQ.
Right.
Here, it is the...
Ministry of...
Vehicle...
I know, we're both terrible. We're going to sound... It's through Service Ontario, is all I can tell you.
Yes, it is, essentially.
I'm certain there's listeners right now getting upset rather than relaxing because they're like, don't you know that the name is the Ministry of the...
We're also talking about the Ministry of something or the other on here.
Oh, you know who we should be asking this to?
Who?
Our vehicle expert, Dale Boyer, who we've had. She would know. So shout out to her. Anyway, so basically, I decided to take it through a course. So I registered with a course that was highly recommended. And part of getting... The last part of your motorcycle license is you take an in-class lesson, and you then on the Sunday, I'm going to be taking the vehicle test. So I was looking at what they require, and one of the things they require is a leather jacket or a motorcycle jacket.
No, do they really?
Mm-hmm, because we're going to be going really fast.
Oh, on the highway.
I don't have a leather jacket. I have a fake leather jacket, but I don't have a leather jacket and I don't have a motorcycle jacket. So between now and Sunday, I've got to get my hands on a leather jacket. Now, my dad has a leather jacket that my father-in-law gave me that I didn't want to wear, that is emblazoned. It's kind of like those jackets that have the company name on it. Beautiful leather jacket. It feels soft like butter, but I'm not one to wear anything that's got logos on it. So I gave it to my dad. So I'm pretty much outing myself to my family.
You are. I was just about to say, you just regifted your father-in-law's gift to your father.
Right. My dad
Did it have like the Symbian logo on it?
I'm not going to mention what name it had on it. And I'm not going to divulge any more of that information because I already looked bad on this particular episode.
I think we need to talk to your father-in-law next time he's on the show about said jacket.
I'll let you do that.
Over 90 of the top 100 U.S. accounting firms trust Bill to simplify and secure bill pay. That's proven financial infrastructure built on over $1 trillion of secure payments. Visit Bill.com/proven for a special offer.
To tip off this NBA season on FanDuel, you can choose your own rewards, which means you can play your game any way you want.
I get to choose my rewards?
Yep.
Great! Now, excuse me while I lock in.
All customers choose your own reward right now in the FanDuel app. 21 plus and present in select states. 18 plus in Kentucky. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirement, and max wager amount. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
But we are, Marco, in the Queen West area of Toronto. And in this area, there is a ton of thrift shops. And actually, I was walking down the street the other day, and there was a thrift shop full of jean jackets and leather jackets, which, to our listeners who might not know Toronto very well, is indicative of just how hipsterish this entire area is. So finding a leather jacket in this area won't be difficult. I also have a leather jacket, however.
Would it fit me?
I'm going to go ahead and say probably not, but I think we can try.
Listen, I wouldn't have a problem with it. This is something you probably don't know about me, Nidhi, but you know how you buy inexpensive glasses and you lose them. I recently lost my good pair of Armani glasses, sunglasses. I left them in a restaurant in Edmonton. Don't want to talk about it. It was a pork restaurant that didn't have brunch, and that's why I left. So, anyways, I'm not going to talk about it.
The pork restaurant didn't have brunch?
It was like all pork items, and it was a Sunday at 11, and I went into this restaurant. And I was all excited because I was going to have like
bacon
and eggs and pulled pork, and in my mind, I was going to get a pulled pork eggs Benedict. That's what I wanted. They didn't have it. All I could get was a hamburger or something, so I left in a fury. Not in a fury, I just left. I thanked them and I left. And I left my glasses there.
Of course, karma.
So then I've been buying these inexpensive glasses. And a pair that actually Dale Boye's dad gave me from the Honda Racing, because he was working the Formula One in Toronto. The Indy, sorry. Thank you, the Indy. Because the Formula One's in Montreal, right?
Yes. Or New France, as some people call it.
Yes, we were discussing how it was like, Nidhi, you're actually from New France. We got into a whole discussion, but we'll talk about that, if not in this episode, another episode, because I'm an Upper Canadian. So we, she had these white glasses that I was wearing that I love that her dad got me from, and they were just swag glasses. It said Honda Racing on it, and then they broke. I think one of the passengers that my wife was driving stepped on them, because my wife apologized, but she didn't say what happened to them, and so that's what I suspect.
Passengers that she was driving.
We had some people over, and she was driving, and I suspect someone stepped on it.
Okay.
I won't mention names, even though this seems to be the episode where I'm just calling myself and everybody out on stuff, and this is the episode where everyone gets in trouble. So.
It was probably, though, we should say, Marco, if it was someone who has been visiting your home in the last few weeks, then it may have been one of the guests that we've actually had on this podcast.
You're not helping me at all, Nidhi, through this episode. So let's just leave it there.
All right.
So I've been losing and breaking glasses for the last, 5 years. So when I'm driving in the car, I don't have any sunglasses. But Amanda has a ton of sunglasses. So I'm always wearing her sunglasses when I'm driving. And her sunglasses are very...
feminine?
I don't even want to say feminine, but very, let's say, non-masculine. Okay. So I look a little bit like what you would think that Elton John would wear driving his car is what I'm... And sometimes we're going to a wedding, so I'm wearing a suit or whatnot. I'm wearing these large... Dramatic glasses, right? And I don't have a problem with it. I really don't care. I'm like, if they shield me from the sun, I'm totally cool with it. But sometimes I'll get strange looks from people beside me. I'm like, I'll turn to a man, I'm like, why is that guy looking at me so weird? And she's like, look at the glasses you're wearing. I'm like, oh, I forgot. So I don't have qualms about wearing stuff that...
No, but I think glasses... So most glasses are kind of have a bit of a unisex flavor to them. They're not really masculine or feminine. But I do think that like sunglasses are a part of someone's personality, or glasses in general, right? Mm-hmm. So when you are taking on the sunglasses or glasses of another person, the frames just somehow might not look right on your face, like with the structure of your face, but more with the personality of who you are.
Sure.
So someone who's really comfortable wearing big, dramatic, bold glasses, that might not have the same, flavor in
Sure.
someone who has more, standard muted frames, let's say.
Right. Anyways, back to getting my motorcycle license.
Yes, please.
I'm going to be driving my scooter on the highway at some point on Sunday. So I need to get myself a leather jacket.
Do you need leather gloves too?
I have leather gloves.
Okay.
Why do you have those?
I believe I have the driving gloves. Like.
Okay. Well, if I can't find them, I'll be getting those.
Okay.
Boots. And, yeah, I've got the boots, the high boots, and jeans that are not ripped are some of the things that they require.
Well, I think you can find that.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I'm wearing these jeans. I have a rip, but you can't really see it. So, but we won't get into that either.
So, do they examine your wardrobe before you go out?
I would imagine, and the helmet has to be an approved helmet, which I agree with.
Yes.
Do
you need glasses though? Sunglasses?
I used to have goggles with my helmet, and I can't find them. I don't know. I've got to look if I need glasses.
Do you need a scarf?
No. I think scarves are kind of dangerous when you've got to be careful with scarves when you're on.
Oh, I guess you're on the highway.
Let me ask you this. When you got your driver's license,
yes,
what was it like? Did you pass the first time you got it?
I did, and I will tell you this, Marco. I had taken, so I got my driver's license in Quebec, where you took the written test, and then you had, I don't know, what was it, 6 months or something to do all the lessons for the practical component, and then you were able to take the practical test. I went there, and so the way the practical test worked was we booked a time, and then my driving instructor drove all of us there, and there was like 3 of us taking the test around the same time, and so he drives you there, you take the test, and you'll come back. On the way there, there was one person who was considered like a shoo-in to get this test, and then there was me, who he kind of kept, I don't know, try to pep talk me.
He was like your coach.
Yeah, like, it's okay if you don't get it on your first try. It's okay. Like, a lot of people don't get it on their first try.
Right.
You know? You never know what's going to happen. Sometimes these guys have quotas and all that stuff.
I just want to say Ministry of Transportation.
Okay? That would make sense.
There you go.
So we end up at the DMV, or the Ministry of Transportation, or the SAAQ in Quebec. And I take the exam, and I was really nervous that the guy would ask me to parallel park, because I wasn't good at parallel parking. But
You're pretty awesome at it now.
I am.
Is it because in Quebec it's tighter spaces, and in Ontario you're the parallel parking, you've got more? Because I think you're a good parallel parker.
You know what? I think it's because when you're learning to drive, at least at that time, you did the perpendicular, like backing into a space, but you never really practiced that much of the parallel parking.
I see.
Because I think you only needed to, actually, I don't know. Anyway, whatever. I was afraid they were going to ask me for parallel parking. The guy didn't. He was really nice. At the end, he was like, you have excellent control of the vehicle. Don't forget to check your blind spots when you're running around, when you're turning corners. And I was like, interesting. That seems like a big deal for me to not have checked that. But he was really sweet and passed me. This was shocking to my driving instructor, particularly because the girl that he thought would pass failed.
Oh,
I know.
Do you know her name? Because we should really out, since this is the episode where we're like,
I know,
getting everybody in trouble.
Well, I went back home at 16 years of age and walked through my door and told my mom I passed my driver's test, and she had a look of like shock and awe I can only describe. Of like, she literally said, I didn't think you were actually going to pass that.
Wow, no one had faith in you.
Nobody had faith in me. So that is how I got my driver's license.
Well, listen, I've driven in the car with you, and I think you're a great driver.
Well, that's great, because let me tell you the end of this story, Marco.
Oh, no.
About 3 months later...
Here we go. This is the episode where everything comes out.
About 3 months later, I hit a taillight on a car.
Oh, no.
At the age of, whatever, I'm sure there's a statute of limitations on this, I'm
Sure.
hoping. It was a taillight, and I freaked out. I didn't know what to do. It was that Blockbuster Video.
They don't exist
They
anymore.
don't exist anymore. And I booted out of there.
Wow.
I know.
Did you damage their taillight?
I can't remember. I'm hoping not, because it's an awful thing to do.
You're a horrible person.
I am a horrible person.
I once took my dad's car, and it was the company car, and it was a really nice car. And I got 9 of my friends in it.
Oh no. How big was this car?
It could comfortably fit 4. Legally, it could fit 9. Legally, it could fit 5. I had 9 in it. It was Halloween, and I just got everybody to pile in my car. This is not, I don't advise this.
No.
I don't recommend it. I was wrong in every sense of the word. So I'm just fessing up to, my stupidity as a 17-year-old. And I bumped it against something. So there was a small little notch in the fender. And never told my family, just parked the car. And maybe 2 weeks later, my dad came and said, I think someone in the supermarket bumped my car because there's a little bit notch in it. I was like, that's terrible. Supermarkets are the worst.
No.
Yeah. So I wasn't really lovely about that.
What? Oh, I think that's amazing, because how else are you going to get out of that situation, really? You just have to pretend it didn't happen.
I shouldn't have gotten 9 people. I just want to say this out loud. Do not exceed the number of people that your vehicle
that's
can
dangerous.
hold. That's dangerous, and I don't recommend it, and it was dumb of me. And do not listen to this podcast while driving or operating heavy
There you
machinery.
go.
What's the heaviest machinery you've ever operated?
Oh, good question. I'm guessing a car, really. I haven't operated like a truck or bus or anything like that, or a tractor. How about you?
I operated a truck with a trailer of, 150 bikes on the back and like 25 bikes on the roof through Europe. It was insane. And I had to counter steer.
Oh my gosh.
With all these bikes. I should not have been allowed to drive this, but supposedly...
Did any of the bikes ever fall off?
No, they were secured. And to be quite honest with you, knock on wood, I had no issues driving in Europe. I scraped the side of a building a little bit, but it was through a very narrow street in southern Italy, and the window had been scraped so much by our vans that their blinds, their vertical blinds, were dented or like contorted because of it. There was no way going through this space without doing it. So it was acceptable in Europe.
Marco, so since this is the episode where we are talking about all things that are to be revealed, what is that thing that you, like that lie you told as a kid, where looking back now, you're like, my parents totally knew that was the lie?
Well, I have to say that it was definitely you know what, Nidhi? We've reached the end of our show. So I will save it maybe for another time.
Excellent.
Until then, we were glad that you followed us along here on the Insomnia Project. As always, our show is produced by Drumcast Productions.
And we hope that you will listen and sleep. Follow us on Twitter, rate us on iTunes.